I did that in elementary school, so there's a lot of things that we can all relate to.
Oh, no, you.
How would you sell that product to a parent whose son or daughter is doing everything they can in their power to get them to agree to it? How would you sell that?
The most traumatizing thing watching a kid was watching the tongue get stuck to the frozen pole.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
too.
that was like, you know.
Welcome, folks, to another major award edition of Talking a Christmas Story with the cast. I'm your host, Yano Anaya, also known as Grover Dill from the movie A Christmas Story, that little toady who terrorized the other neighborhood kids. Today, we have a special guest who probably never suspected that she would be woven into the fabric of the legacy of this film. But nonetheless, she has played an important role in helping us to get where we are today. Malia's story is a testament to the film's power to bring great people together to work towards a common goal, spreading the magic of A Christmas Story and sharing it with fans both old and new. Today, we want to explore the power of communication in building connections between people that defy distance and the passage of time. For a perfect example of this, we don't need to look any further than the masterful storytelling of Gene Shepard. He is the writer, voice, and heart of this movie, and through his charming narration, viewers of the film are transported to Hammond, Indiana, and invited to a seat at the Parker dinner family table. Shepard's particular style of vivid imagery and humor leave us with a feeling of rosy, nostalgic warmth, whether it is a viewer has seen the movie once or hundreds of times. This way, anyone who has seen the movie is connected with Gene Shepard, even though he is no longer with us, God rest his soul. And beyond that, we are all connected to each other through our shared experience of the film. And of course, not all communication is created equal. We don't bask in the glow of reading the same street signs as everyone else or looking at the same barcodes as the person next to us is in the grocery store. And maybe the world would be a better place if we did. So what makes A Christmas Story and other masterpieces like it so special? Why do they resonate with us on a deeper level? Today's guest will have some interesting insights for us, and I can't wait for you to hear them. I had the opportunity to meet Malia through her role in digital marketing with Funnel Fuse in the beginning of the year. She, of course, already knew about the movie when we got connected, both from seeing it as a child, but also because her husband's family were huge fans. Anyway, we loved working with her so much, we had to have her on this show to speak on her experience, both as a fan and as a team member working with us. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into Malia's journey from unsuspecting viewer to a part of the A Christmas Story legacy. Malia, welcome to Talking a Christmas Story with the cast. It is a pleasure to have you on here. We have a special relationship in the business world, and then also we have that tether, that connection through A Christmas Story. So what I want to do is start off by asking you, can you share your earliest memory in your life of watching A Christmas Story movie?
Oh, well, I grew up in Alaska, and so every Christmas, you know, it's super cold outside. I would remember it's always dark and snow, and we would always cuddle up and watch our favorite Christmas movies. And this is one of the favorite Christmas movies that my family would watch together, and I just have really fond memories of that. And also, I did attend a play in Anchorage when I was younger. I can't remember how old I was, but it was had to do with my school and everything. We went to see a whole play, and all I know is I have a relative that was in the orchestra there's a little bit of music going on, and so forgot what instrument she played, but she was in it, so we got to go and see it live. And I'm not sure if that's still a thing today, but that's my fondest memories, I would say.
That's amazing. Yeah, you know, the musicals, the drama shows, the college and high school, and even like little bitty ones like in, elementary school, it has become a thing.
Oh, is it neat?
I'm not sure if you're aware also that we have a Broadway show as well that's been traveling around the nation way back, I would say in the early 2000s is when it actually started. So that's amazing that you actually got to see that as a school project. I love whoever was on the staff that decided to make that happen for you as the students. I just want to give them a virtual hug. I don't know if they're still alive, if they're still around, but praise them for making this a part of your experience. So it is
I
interesting.
will also add that it's a common play in high schools up there and like just in schools in general. So there's like in-school plays, and then there was a professionally done one. So that it's pretty. There's a lot of that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And eventually, when we do get to a certain place of what we are doing as for the mission of A Christmas Story, that is going to be one of my missions, is to be able to travel to high schools and colleges who are actually running the plays and just meet the actors and meet the people who put together, because I think that would be super special for them to actually, meet cast members from the movie. Might be kind of surreal, you know what I mean? So that's something that we would love to do in the future. Now, it is interesting how, family tradition can shape how we view things. How did your husband's family's love for the film impact the way that you experienced it?
Oh, from what I've been told, my father-in-law probably can recite the entire movie. And it's so funny because when I first met them, they would always say certain phrases, and I'm like, that sounds so familiar. And it was throughout the entire year. It wasn't just around Christmas times, like fragile, right? So they would always say, whenever they're carrying a box, they would go fragile, or they would, like they would just make all these comments. Some of them are leaving me right now. I was wondering, I'm like, where are they getting that from? It sounds so familiar. And it's from the Christmas Story movie. And on Christmas Day, they have just A Christmas Story playing all day long on repeat. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would be interested in learning, your father-in-law's experience of A Christmas Story, and when his first experience of it was, and why it's so important to him. Because if he is a huge fan and he can recite it, it's obvious to me and to us that it's been part of him and who he is for his entire life. It would be interesting to learn about his experience of it. Yeah. So when we first started working together, what was your initial reaction, learning that we were from the cast of A Christmas Story, and was your husband's family excited about that too?
Oh, they were really excited. I was it was, you guys were, I would say, my first movie cast that I got to work with and had the pleasure of working with. So thank you. It's been such an amazing experience working together. And then when I told my family it was A Christmas Story, they freaked out. They thought that was so cool. So, and it's always so much fun now that we have our first project together in the final stages or in the wraps, everyone's always excited to go look at it. So that's cool.
That's awesome. So can you explain to our audience, and speaking to your audience as well, remember that, doing the podcast, people can come to YouTube and watch it. And then there's a lot of places where people like listen to podcasts and they can just listen in on the audio. And so there's such a wide variety of people that will listen to this podcast, even if their fans are not. And so what we love to do for you is just to open up our doors and talk about what it is that you do with Funnel Fuse. Oh,
sure thing. Yeah. So you want me to answer kind of what I do and the work I do and why you guys...
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I'm a ClickFunnels certified funnel builder. So I have all the certifications by ClickFunnels, and I have my own agency. It's a digital marketing agency that's funnel driven so we build sales funnels for all sorts of people. And so we'll do anything like course building, putting together specialty landing pages that sell an offer, or even websites. And the reason why you guys reached out to me is because you're interested in building a sales funnel, where the difference between a sales funnel and a website is a website has multiple calls to actions on every page, whereas a sales funnel has one. You're just trying to get them into one thing. And you guys came to me with this an amazing idea and a unique proposition on how to put together an awesome membership that not only gets people access to the cast members, but also adds value to the family side of things. So so what I do is I work with every single client in a unique way, very close relationship. We had a lot of meetings, and we put something together that's very custom to that client, and hopefully generate some business for them. And also spread their message. So that's something that's really important to me too, is a lot of people I work with have a purpose, a cause behind to what they're putting together. And it's always a pleasure for me to work with those people from all around the world. So yeah, that's what I do in a gist.
That's amazing. And, you know, I'm glad that you hit on those specific points, because it is important to speak on this, because so much of the time it does seem like marketing, right, is something that kind of gets hidden away behind closed doors, when in everything that we see and everything that we do is actually marketing. So why do you think it actually gets hidden behind closed doors?
The marketing side of things is what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say to answer your question, it also kind of comes to another question that was a challenge when working with you. Is it's not about, it's not always about the sales, right? So that's the thing, is we're not always trying to sell people on just so we can earn some income. It's about spreading that message and creating a family, right? So that's kind of that. So that's why, if you're saying it's hidden, it's because it's not all about the sales. It's more about creating a community and serving people in that way, and coming up with those creative offers that allow you to be present with them, but also serves them in a way where I love what you guys are doing, because it's all about family, creating those relationships with the family. And so I guess I hope that answered your question. I'm trying to, does that make sense, what I just described?
100%. Yeah, I think that you did hit that nail on the head, because, a lot of the times people don't understand or really know why they're hit with so many ads, or why businesses are trying to thrive, and what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and what product they're trying to sell. And, kind of opening up the doors of opportunity around working with the Christmas Story family is that we really weren't trying to sell a product. It's more like an experience. Okay. It's more like really trying to focus on how we can integrate into fans' lives to help them build more traditions in their own family unit, and having fun with the cast while they're doing it, right? That's right. One thing why, we talk a lot about this on this show, A Christmas Story, or, talking A Christmas Story with the cast, is how we can connect with so many people, over the years, whether it's just connecting with us, connecting with the fans, connecting with the cast, or even connecting people together who are all working on, sharing this, just like you did with us. And marketing in some ways is really about the tapestry. It's about the connection. It's about connecting people and tapping into some of those things that motivate us on a very deep level. So I'd love to open up a little conversation about the power of communication to build connections, because words that are put together in a way that can build that emotional connection is powerful. It is the key, right, to creating powerful content that tethers us together, that's not just selling something. It's more about communicating an experience, communicating those emotions about how we're all connected together through this movie. So are there particular elements or scenes from A Christmas Story that really have resonated with you or stuck with you after watching it?
If you're asking on the emotional scale, I got to think of that one, but there's a lot of funny ones that really stick with me. So the leg lamp's always a thing. I would say probably the ending is the more emotional hitter, right?
Yeah.
I also somebody got their tongue stuck on a pole, right? That was something. That's another thing. I did that in elementary school, so there's a lot of things that we can all relate to.
Oh, no,
no, I did that. They had to do the hot water trick on my tongue. Yeah, that was funny. And anytime there's one of the things is the connection to the movie. It was so relatable that, like, think of my husband's family. They quote the movie almost every day. I am not even kidding. It's just a part of their vocabulary now. Some of the words that come out of them. It's like, oh, it's a big reward. It's a major reward, right? So, like when I got my funnel building award, they go, it's a major award. So So I would say the connection to those little things, I can't really drill it down to one scene. It's just
Yeah.
there's so many scenes in there are relatable to just everyday life that just it builds a connection and it kind of just makes you think back and chuckle when you're imagining that scene and how it connects. And yeah, that's what I would say there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what you just said is so important for listeners and for those who are watching this to kind of understand that connection, that it just becomes a subconscious thing that people now are regurgitating these scenes. And there are people that have had connections to Gene Shepard and Bob Clark and those who are connected very intimately with this movie, that has allowed us the opportunity to learn deeper about what it is that actually this movie is. And I know that most people don't realize this, but Gene Shepard, when he wrote this, he was writing about his life as a kid in Hammond, Indiana, which is the birthplace of A Christmas Story, and all of his life's experiences, which when you have a writer that is speaking so many relatable things to human beings 40, 50, 60, 70 years in the future, it becomes brilliant work, right? Because that's the magic of content writing, right? Storytelling. We're always doing some kind of storytelling. And when we can think about, we're creating something together that is creating this emotional connection that can have an impact on people decades from when we started this, right? So for us, it's like everything that we're doing with A Christmas Story is literally history in the making, because our mission is to keep this legacy alive and to get more fans involved with the cast, right? That's one of our missions. Now, there is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Quentin Schultz, who was very close with Gene Shepard back in the 80s. He had reached out to Gene Shepard and said, "Hey, I love your storytelling. Like, you're the best author that I think is in existence right now, and I would love for you to come speak to my students," since he taught in university storytelling and English grammar and how to write. And so they created this relationship over a long period of time where Gene Shepard would actually come into the class and teach students on a voluntary basis. And so those students got a lot of really good information. And because they were doing this together many, many years ago, Dr. Quentin Schultz decided to write a book about that. And what he wrote about were Gene Shepard's ideal connections with human beings in creating lessons in every single scene that he developed, right? So what he did is he wrote a book, and I don't know if you know this, but, a lot of people, we start talking about the different elements of A Christmas Story. There's a lot of deep lessons to be learned. Like, for example, the leg lamp, right? We can say leg lamp was, that was that resonated with me. I remember that. Like, you can see it everywhere now. And so the lesson in that was that even though the dad was at the breakfast table or the dinner table working his puzzles, right? He was like asking questions because he didn't know how to answer it. And guess who had the answers? Mom did, of course, right? The one who actually runs the household. And so after answering all these questions, he submitted his puzzle and, he's up for this award, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden he wins. And so now he's got this huge joy that outside of the hustle and bustle of working a 9 to 5 in the factories and then coming home to, meatloaf and beef or cabbage soup, right? He had this a major award that was now showing up at his door. Had no idea what it was, right? And of course, imagine the director and the artistic director, Ruben Fried, coming together and creating something that didn't exist. What can we give Dad that is so remarkable that he would love to show it off, yet it's creating this resistance between Mom and Dad and their relationship in their household, that there's this love fascination from Dad looking at this leg lamp from the street with his neighbors, and neighbors are coming around, and of course Mom was like, "I cannot believe this. Like, this is a sexist thing. This should not be happening. Like, he's cheating on me." You know what I mean? Like, he's giving all his attention to this leg lamp and not being grateful that I never have a warm meal. You know what I mean? So all of these life lessons that has been created, actually, he put in this book. And this book is called, You'll Shoot Your Eye Out, Life Lessons from the Movie A Christmas Story. And so it is brilliantly put together with all of the little nooks and crannies about the secrets behind why Gene Shepard actually wrote this movie. And so part of what we do also is, we do contests, and we give a lot of stuff away to all our fans, because that creates fun and excitement and joy around, this movie within our fan base. And part of that contest is I just got to show you, we're going to be giving away a Red Ryder BB gun. So, I got it in the corner back over here. I always like to say it's back in the corner because that's part of the movie, right? One of these favorite parts of the movie where Ralphie gets to see his Red Ryder stuff in the corner. And we've got the signed 5 cast members, even Ralphie. You know what I mean? So this is part of our yearly contest. Well, we'll give this away to a winner who actually, decides to join the contest. So, and we're going to give away a signed book. And we got all kinds of other cool stuff. So these are the little things that, we love to do for the fans because nobody else is doing it. And it just makes it all the more fun, right? So because you became immersed with us in our world of A Christmas Story, did your perceptions about the movie change at all since now some of the cast?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I would say, it was a movie that was a natural tradition to watch every year. It really is a tradition. It's kind of like, there's a whole bunch of Christmas movies that you would for me, I like to start watching November, right? So around even Thanksgiving is still decorated for Christmas. So I start early, at the beginning of it. So right when Halloween ends, it's Christmas. And then you go through your movie lists, right? And so before I met you guys and got immersed with you, it was just something that we would watch every year as a family when I grew up. And then, every year or every other year as an adult, or my husband actually, we would always watch it in some way. And then I met you guys, and now I feel like there's such deeper connection with the movie now for me. I feel like a lot of those scenes I'm rewatching with a new lens. So when I go back and watch it now, I'm like, oh, wow, I have a different, I can't put a scene right here right now because it's been a couple months since I watched it. But it's there'll be a scene and I'm like, okay, now I understand the full context behind that scene, and it just makes me feel more connected on a deeper level. And then something just to add, kind of like you commented on, no one else is doing it. No one else is doing this at least with funnels, and putting together a program where you can actually have access. It's not just access to the cast. It's not just stuff. It's a connection. And like you said, building that legacy of family tradition, where everything else is just a perk, right? So it's just, so kind of seeing it in that way is brought some light to everything. So, yeah.
That's amazing that you said that, because part of our documentary that we did, Santa really kind of made it real that Christmas is about family connection. Yeah, presents are a perk, sure, but it's about those traditions. It's about, the connections. It's about the things that we do with each other as part of the celebration of family coming together, right? And that's amazing that you brought that point out, because it's real, and it's real for everybody that has that opportunity to share those kind of experiences, right? Now, because you've been a part of what it is that we've created, and you did such a beautifully brilliant job. I want you to let all of our fans know, or those who are looking to expand their business, or, consult with somebody about creating a website for them, or a funnel for them for their specific thing, or a course, like if they're teaching, whatever it is that they're teaching, because people can teach, how to, make hooks out of a hanger, or they can teach you, kind of like what Russell did, how to create a gun, a potato gun, right? All these different things that people may invent, even as children. Children have great imaginations and inventing new things. And if people really want to understand how to bring that to the market, to show what their product is and get people excited about it, how do they get in touch with you, Malia, at FunnelFuse?
Sure. Thank you. It's just funnelfuse.com, or, you go www.funnelfuse.com, and there should be a discovery call opportunity on there, and just get in touch with me. I'm actually handling the discovery calls at this time, so you'll be able to speak with me, and we can try to see how to bring your vision into life. That's I treat everybody very. It's no cookie cutter process, so I talk to everybody, find out what they would need, and then propose some potential ways in working together. So it's very laid back, very casual. And so that's the step I would go to funnelfeast.com.
Awesome. There you have it, folks and fans and friends and family. We highly, highly, highly recommend, if this is something that you are interested in or ready to take your business to the next level, that you reach out to Malia. I'm going to switch gears here. We're going to go down the road of playing a game with each other, right? So, and it's not that difficult. It's going to have some fun. So for this game, we're actually going to put your marketing skills to the test. Okay. So we know that you are absolutely amazing at what you do, and we want you to help us get the word out about some amazing products. So from the movie, the BB gun, and I'm going to keep the rest a little bit secret. So the trick is that you only have a couple of seconds, a minute, maybe two, depending. I'll let you gather your thoughts and kind of get creative with it and have some fun with it, is to sell the product. So in your mind, of course, what you do is create a funnel. And for those people that don't know what ClickFunnels is a platform that allows an individual to create multitudes of different ways to show their product to the general masses and to individuals. It is a brilliant platform that is very robust, that Malia has multitudes of certifications and knowledge and experience in how to utilize it to best fit your business after your guys' strategic call. So having that skill set, and not only selling your own services, but helping others sell theirs, don't be afraid to have fun with this. Okay, so you're just going to sell this product. So your first product is going to be that official Red Ryder Carbine Action 200-shot range model air rifle, aka Ralphie's dream, right? The BB gun from the movie. So how would you sell? Well, see, that's an easy. How would you sell that product to a parent whose son or daughter is doing everything they can in their power to get them to agree to it? How would you sell that?
Okay. So verbally or on a landing page?
Both. You go, girl.
Both.
So,
okay.
Let's do
so let me so, and no other offers, just the BB gun.
Just the BB gun.
Okay. So I would put together, I'm just jumping in, right? There's multiple ways. So if I was somebody that wanted to, you just mentioned a couple of things here. So you're saying that you wanted to target a mom or grandma, you're saying, to get their grandkid interested in this product, right? So it's a grandpa interested in getting their grandson in this product. Yeah. So if I were to do that, I would create some sort of if it's a BB gun, right? So I would identify who you would put this in front of. So if it's a grandson, going for boys or girls. I mean, I shot BB guns and guns growing up, right? So I did that, and my grandma actually came out of the house telling me, "You're going to shoot your eye out," quoting the movie, by the way. So that's another story. So I did that growing up, but I would target that experience with the say it's a grandfather, grandson, and grandfather, granddaughter, or whoever, that experience of they can actually play with it together or look at it together and get immersed with it. So that's the one thing I would hit. And then the second thing of how I would market it is probably through a live event. And the reason why is because even though like a landing page that has a video could be good and in the sense of it could probably sell itself and be evergreen, I would do something like a webinar or even a challenge, not selling about the BB gun until the end. I would have it be an experience with the grandfather, grandkid, and then doing an activity together that maybe it's around around like some boy stuff or something, and then at the end of it, presenting that as a tool that they can leverage to increase that connection, right? So you've identified a problem, created a fun interactive. I would do a free challenge or free webinar for them to kind of have this interactive experience and building a bond with each other and the person presenting and hosting that live immersive experience. And then going, oh, and by the way, guys, if you really like this and you would like to get your hands on this and give this to your grandson, this is for sale, and go ahead and grab it. So what you just did is you built this relationship and this connection with this person. And at the end, you're like, here's a product that can enhance your experience. And if you want it, you could take it to the next level through that product. So that's how I would approach it. And gun to my head, there you go. So without much thought, he didn't really prep me too much before this. So that's just me thinking out loud. So
that's amazing. That's awesome. Product number 2, a major award official leg lamp created by Ruben Fried. So how would you sell that one?
A leg lamp. So the full size leg lamp we're talking about here, right? So fun. I would actually, so I would identify again who. So that's the number one thing we look at is who it's for. And it's, it's funny is regarding that exact product, it is, I would say, middle-aged guys is what I see. Like I'm thinking of my father-in-law, he would love one. Like he really would. So I would first think about those people. And honestly, because they've built such a connection with the movie, they would think it's funny to have one. Like they would think it's comical to have one and then, oh, how cool. It's actually signed by everybody, or I don't know. Like you can enhance that offer as well by maybe adding some signatures. And for that one, you could do any live event with that, but I would probably have that be in an evergreen funnel, just as an opportunity to get it on its own, and then complement it with we call that a cart funnel, so it can just be on its own. Hey, get the original leg lamp, and maybe you throw in a couple things with it, and then you can attach more upsells and downsells after they buy that leg lamp. I can see that, and then. Also, not to give anything away, but you can also attach it to some other programs that you're putting together. So those are the ways that I would market it, is either because it's a really desirable product as it is. I can see it in its own e-commerce style cart funnel with some upsells, downsells, or attached to something that is also of value. So as a complement to an offer. So that's what I would do.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I love it. All right. So last product. You're doing great. This is amazing. All right. So product number 3, Malia, is a child-size Pink Bunny suit, complete with fuzzy ears, just like Ralphie wears in the movie.
Okay. Halloween. I'm thinking Halloween. I'm thinking Christmas Day. So that one would be really, because it's a product that if you want people to use it, I guess the question is, do you want people to just have it in their corner on a mannequin, or do you want kids to use it? So that's how I would think about it. So are we targeting collectors, or are we targeting kids that would put it on and having the parents taking photos of their kids and having a fond memory of, or did you say it was full size, or is it kid size?
Kid size. For a child, yep, child-size Pink Bunny suit, yep.
Yep, so that's what I would do is if it's for kids and you want them to wear it, I would, again, market it to the parents as, oh, while your kids are small and can fit into this suit, right, go ahead and get this and get some awesome photos with it. I can even, if you were to sell it in a funnel, you can, sell it on its own, maybe attach some sort of camera or something, and then have an immersive experience where they share their photos in a group. That's cool. So I'm trying to think about how you can probably attach that one to a membership of some sort, or just a community of some sort. So it's like, hey, share your photos of your kids in this. We'd love to see them. It'd be fun memories. And you have your photos of your kids forever wearing this awesome suit. And I would say I would start targeting that around Halloween time, just before, I would say holiday season. So anytime from October, so September to December is when I would put that out there. And I think that would be a great seasonal product. Funnel types, cart funnel, or attachment to maybe an activity funnel of some sort. That'd be kind of fun. So yeah, that's what I would do.
That's awesome. That's very, very, very brilliant. I love, see that the thing is about your creative mind is people don't necessarily understand what marketing is. And marketing is showing people the value behind something that can add value to their life, point blank. Right? And that's beautiful to be able to display that. So, Malia, thank you so much for playing this game with me. I really do appreciate it. It's always fun to have our guests do something a little bit lighthearted like this for, the fans. So I'm glad that we had a great time. I loved all your answers. Now, let me ask you a question. Is your husband close by?
I think he just stepped out. He was in, are you there, Brent? I hear him. He's coming. It looks like we caught him.
Awesome.
He wants to say hi. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. I heard a lot of good things about you. I just wanted to bring you on our podcast just to say thank you for being a fan and thank you for sharing this with your wife and sharing, the good experiences and the emotional connections that all of us fans have. So just wanted to say thank you, man.
Oh yeah, it's not a hard thing to do. That's a great movie to watch. It's been part of my childhood, and it's still a part of every Christmas. So it's fun to watch.
That's amazing.
We have a daughter together, and she's going to be watching that as well. So
thank you for passing it down to the generations. Yes, that's amazing. So, Brent, question, real quick. What was your first experience of the movie when you first watched it when you were a kid? Do you remember?
I do not remember because I was probably real early on. But as far back as I can remember, I guess the most traumatizing thing watching a kid was watching the tongue get stuck to the frozen pole.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
too.
that was like, as a kid, you watch that and you're like, okay, we're doing that.
I did it.
So.
So you didn't hear me say that. I told him
really?
I did that. Yeah.
Well, dog dare for everyone, right? That is so amazing.
Well, he grew up in Southern California, they never had frozen season ever. So never had a white Christmas. Yeah.
I'm in Fallbrook, California, northern San Diego County.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we would get to see the, Palomar Mountain get frosted with snow here and there, but, I never really got to have snow at the house or anything,
So opposite of me.
I'm a big fan of Laguna and Manhattan, the Redondo area. And then also a big fan of Big Bear too. So, your backyard is kind of like south of my backyard as well. It's awesome, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool.
Man, and thank you for sharing your experience. What I'd love to hear is fans' experiences about the movie. And what I'd love to hear is that because it's been in your household for so long, it just was a tradition until you actually realized the traumatizing scenes that the movie had, right?
He was asking about your dad.
Yeah, what also rings true, man, is that because your dad, your dad is the one that put it on in the household. So, I just want to extend my heartfelt respect to your dad for sharing this with you, because that means a lot to all of us who have anything to do with the movie. So, if you can just take a moment and grab him and hug him and say that the cast really appreciates him handing it down to you.
Yeah, will do. And thank you so much for having my wife call me over here.
For sure.
All right. Well, nice to meet you. We'll see you.
Yeah, definitely. Malia, thank you for sharing your other half with us. I greatly appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. And I also should shout out to my sister-in-law, Kara, because she also did a lot of the design work on your funnel. And she is, she's not here right now, but she is probably a major fan of just like my father-in-law, it's really cool. So she had a pleasure working on your funnel with me, and she was excited every day to start working on it. So yeah, that was awesome. I had to shout her out.
Yeah, thank you, Kara. We love you. We appreciate you very much and being a part of this project. And it's not going to be the last time. I can guarantee you that. Cool. All right, you guys. Well, thank you. We appreciate it. And for all the fans out there, obviously what you want to do is go to YouTube and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification so that you're always getting notifications about our releases of new podcasts. So once again, thank you, Malia. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure, and I hope to see you guys all again. So, yeah, thank you.
We want to thank Malia so much for taking the time to sit down and share her story with us. I'm always astounded by the ways that A Christmas Story can bring great people together to do amazing things. And don't forget that just by you guys being here, you're a part of that as well. You already know that I love to connect with you. So don't forget to leave a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, or go ahead and just join us at A Christmas Story Family Facebook group and share your favorite moments from the film, maybe a powerful experience, or even just where you live. We absolutely love connecting with you and making you a part of our story. And that's why the A Christmas Story family has come together to create something truly unique just for you. And it's called the A Christmas Story Immersion Experience. Now, imagine this. You're not just watching your favorite scene from A Christmas Story, sitting on your couch. You're living it. You're interacting with the cast, weaving those beloved moments into your family's everyday life. This is the magic that we bring to you at A Christmas Story family. And what makes it even more extraordinary is back in December 16th of 2023, for the 40th anniversary of A Christmas Story, we held the biggest events in the movie's history in the birthplace, Hammond, Indiana. And the night before the grand celebration, we did host a very special dinner with the cast, including Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, the mayor of Hammond, Erwin Zwilling, Gene Shepard's accountant and close friend, as well as a producer on the A Christmas Story Christmas, the board members from the Indiana Welcome Center, and many other distinguished guests. And at this exclusive dinner, we unveiled our specially crafted boxes. And these weren't just any boxes. They were designed to look like the iconic leg lamp crate and filled with major awards only the old man could really dream of. And each box was valued at over $2,500, which was a tribute to the film's legacy and was given to our special guests to commemorate the historic milestone. And we only made 28 of these boxes, making them rare and incredibly valuable and exclusive. But that's just the beginning, because now for the very first time ever, we are giving you the chance to get one of these exclusive boxes to enhance this new magical immersion experience. And the best part is actually free. And to make it even more magical and historic, for the very first time ever in the 40-year history of the movie, we're recreating the original leg lamp design. As you see in the movie, an exact replica. It has never been done before. Our partner, Reuben Freed, the original creator of the leg lamp, and Bob Clark's close friend, who still has the original sketches of the leg lamp made for the movie, is bringing the original leg lamp and its original specs and design back to life. And it is also coming in that free box. The cast and I have been working on this secret for months, and now it's time for you to discover its beauty. We invite you to check it out, give us your honest feedback, and join us on this incredible journey. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. Go to www.christmasstoryfamily.com, free box, to find out more and join us and become part of our extended family. Your exclusive journey is awaiting, and we can't wait to meet you.
Who's next? That deal guy.